Here we are.
Mike doesn't look like he has the expensive setup anymore.
I don't?
When we upgraded everything. There we go. It's smoothing out now. Now you look better. You look grainy. Yeah.
A little pixelated, but I think that's just will
all right, it should get
spin
better.
itself out.
We're still figuring things out. There'll be more developments today that will then change things.
Wow.
So it's in progress. Oh,
Saw the
still
long
working on
walk
the-
last night.
Oh, God.
what'd you think?
I thought it was awesome.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I think you would both enjoy it. It's not very horror-y, Mike. I mean, it's a little gory. I mean, it's kind of gory, but it's definitely not a horror movie.
The Long Walk.
Yeah.
My friend was just telling me about this. He recommended it.
Yeah. I thought that acting was particularly awesome. I almost cried in it, like 2 separate times. Yeah. Now I cry. It's not like a high bar, but
Okay.
yeah.
I didn't know what it was about.
You don't know at all what it's about?
No, I didn't.
Oh.
Now I
now you
only saw the name.
I think it was Stephen King's first novel, The Long Walk was. I think it was. Yeah.
Interesting.
1979.
There is something about, except for The Shining, which I don't think has it, but like there's this weird thing about Stephen King, like these, even when it's a scary movie, there's some sort of almost like weird positive mysticism in it, I think. Sometimes like It has it, and there's always like this, there's a lot of times like a through line between adolescent guy relationships or whatever. Like Stand By Me had it, It has it, and all that sort of stuff. So I thought it had both of them.
Nice.
Pretty anxiety inducing though.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. My wife, Val, I think liked the movie, but was very, very happy for it to be over.
Yeah, it's a narrow window between what is too horror-y for me. That doesn't sound horror-y in that way to me. But Alien is, I don't know why Alien is close to too much for me. Some of those
Yes.
Some of those shits are fucking
Yeah.
intense little guys, figuring your shit out. But
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe it's grandfathered in because it's like in my brain because it's like it's like good filmmaking from many years ago. I don't know why I don't know why I give it a pass.
Yeah, the show you mean. Yeah, I mean, it's very body horror-y. And when you warned me, I'm still one episode behind, but when you warned me about the last episode when we were watching it, I was like, Mike had a point on this one. This was pretty intense.
I had seen the same thing, and I was like, that makes sense to not eat.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's fucking little guys, man. Little fucking freaky little guys.
Little bug guys, little eyeball guy.
Eyeball guy. Jesus Christ, dude.
Yeah. Oh, eyeball. I want a little eyeball guy for my desk, you know. All right, let's go. On the show today, Joel Embiid. We saw him playing basketball for 6 seconds. Does it change everything? I think it might. Also, Josh Giddey signed a contract, and Quentin Grimes has not. So we have to discuss that as well. Maybe getting a little worried there. Maybe just a tiny little bit worried. And Kelly Oubre wants to know what happened between him and Philadelphia. The rights to Ricky Sanchez podcast is presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. Sign up for DraftKings Sportsbook by using promo code RTRS. Brought to you by Briggs Auction, the official auction of the Ricky at briggsauction.com. Barker Therapeutic Dog Beds. Get yours at barkerbeds.com/Ricky. Adam Ksebe, the official realtor of the Ricky, 302-864-8643 is his number. And Surfside Iced Tea and Vodka, the official canned cocktail of the Ricky. 2 things to let you know about great events. First of all, as we discussed prior, and as we discussed with Shane Battier on the most recent episode, Serving Up Empowerment, the ping pong event with Daryl and Ellen Morey, and of course Shane Battier and a lot of other people to benefit the Battier Foundation, is Saturday, September 20th, the afternoon of Saturday, September 20th at Spin Philly. Looks like a cool place, never been there. You can go play ping pong against Daryl. You can see how sweaty he gets and how serious he is about ping pong. And you can find out how he may be the secret to the Phillies' success this year, which I have to find out if I'm allowed to discuss on the pod, but feels like he might be. So we will put the link to tickets to buy in the pod, but food, drink, all that sort of stuff, I will be there as well. So that is Saturday, September 20th. And Bark in the Park finally had a nice rush of new Bark in the Park team members. Bark in the Park, October 11th, to support the Providence Animal Center. We always have the biggest team, and the goal this year to raise $20,000. Thanks to Ricky listener Josh, who is matching the first 6,500 in donations.
Josh.
Yeah, unbelievable. Matching. He did it last year too. So we're at like 4,500 in donations. You can go to rightsrickysanchez.com/bark. We also put the link in the show notes. If you join the team and you raise at least $50, you get the awesome new Bark shirt this year. The Ricky Bark shirt, not the Providence Bark shirt. That's another shirt. The Ricky Bark shirt, you have to raise $50, designed by Philly's own Olivia Smith. Surfside iced tea and vodka is very close to our hearts because it tastes good. Quite simply, we would not support Surfside iced tea and vodka if it didn't taste good, if it wasn't great. Surfside has all different varieties. Strawberry, lemonade and vodka, iced tea and vodka, green tea and vodka. There's several. You can figure out which one is your favorite. The good thing is they're all the perfect amount of sweetness. They all have 2 grams of sugar. They all have 100 calories, and none of them have bubbles because iced tea, lemonade should not have carbonation in it. You can find it wherever you get your canned cocktails. Otherwise, you can go to drinksurfside.com. You got to be 21, and please enjoy it responsibly. Without any further ado, Amos and the chef.
We were right, y'all. We were right. Even when it went wrong, we were right. We was right, y'all. We were right. So say the name. Say the name. We were right, y'all. We were right. Even when it went wrong, we were right. We were right, y'all. We were right. So say the name. Say the name. Say the name.
Welcome to the Rice Ricky Sanchez podcast. I'm Spike Eskin, along with a guy who is celebrating Clinch Day for the Phillies all the way in Los Angeles. That is one Mike Levin. Happy Clinch Day, Mike.
They're just cooking, dude. They're
How about
fucking
it?
Unstoppable.
Doesn't even matter who plays.
It doesn't.
It
really
doesn't
doesn't
even matter.
I'm loving it.
Yeah.
Ranger.
Yep.
Just generally, every time Ranger pitches, I'm like, I feel I should say something. When's the podcast so I can properly say something nice about Ranger? If they let him walk, I'll kill him. You can't. He's the best. I would trust Ranger to hit in certain situations. I would let him do anything. There's nothing he can't do.
Yeah, I would trust him over several.
Yeah.
At least a few Phillies regulars in an important situation.
And I'm fucking me and Sixers Adam around halfway through the summer. Me and Sixers Adam become Max Kepler heads, just like platoons. I've been so in favor of platoons all my life. Nick is a little bit of a baby.
Yeah,
it's working for him.
Yeah.
It is working for him, and it is happening, and it is good. And he's made so much money. Like you're not that guy anymore. Maybe you never were, but like you shouldn't be able to. You can't play every day if you're swinging at the shit he swings at, man. And so you play sometimes and do your job when you play.
And he's doing fine, by the way.
And he's been doing fine-ish.
Fine for him. I mean, this is my fear when Thompson started doing that is that, oh no, he's going to melt down.
Yeah.
He's going to turn into but he's been fine. And I saw I don't know if you read him, his quotes about the other outfielders I thought were pretty supportive and good. Good. I don't think he's taking it out on them. I agree largely with everyone on Castellanos. I think it goes a little far with Castellanos in that I thought luckily they have Bader now. I just think he brings out an attitude to the team that a team needs that nobody else on the team has. But Bader has.
What is that attitude?
It's sort of you need like a live wire dickhead kind of on the team. I
think Bryce is that.
He used to be. Now Bryce is we're getting 30 plus Bryce. 30 plus Bryce is focused on not making news and promoting, all of his merchandise. Schwarber, also level-headed guy.
Yeah,
Bohm, big, huge baby. Trey, level-headed guy. Stott, level-headed guy. I just think a baseball team, and Bader has fulfilled that, but I thought at one point, Castellanos, not really afraid of anything, thinks he's the best player in the world, kind of a hothead, dickhead. I like those guys. I think a baseball team needs those guys.
He is the worst approach of anyone I've ever watched in my life.
Yes, it's horrible. Yes, it's horrible.
And he's slow as shit.
Yes. Horrible fielder.
Yeah, there's nothing he's good at.
But would trust him in a big spot in
Wouldn't.
a playoff game. He's the only guy besides Harper that showed up in the Mets series.
That is just
Schwarber
not
was
anymore.
One for the series.
Sure,
One
for sure.
Okay.
I'm not saying anybody played well, but
Okay.
Nick is just his abilities and his brain have deteriorated to the point that I just can't. I wouldn't even want him on the playoff roster, honestly.
All right, let's get to the Sixers. Sorry, that was my fault. I started with the
I
Phillies
just want to talk about Ranger.
Yeah. So it was a big moment. We would have talked about it on Wednesday's pod, but we had the pod with Shane Battier. Thank you to Shane Battier for coming on the pod and for not giving Mike any of the answers he wanted about defense. It was uncanny how he avoided saying anything that you wanted him to say.
I mean, he obviously said smart shit. And his the way he talks about, hey, just make somebody put the ball on the deck and they're worse. Everyone is a worse shooter off the dribble than off the catch. I believe that, and that's also how I play and coach. Despite Alyssa felt validated by doing that, by hearing that. I coach basketball in Los Angeles.
Coach Mike.
Coach Mike.
When she does this, do that.
I ran a 1-2-1 zone. Coach my ass off. But I just also wanted a little bit more, didn't I?
You
You could feel that.
Yes.
Because I was like, I don't know. What's he hiding any part of himself from anymore?
Well, he is.
Give me a little part of the psycho. If you're a professional athlete, you have to be a little bit of a psycho, especially if you're that good of a defender. You have to be.
But he really
let us in. Open it up.
He really does seem like the player embodiment of Morey from a brain standpoint. The way he talks about everything.
But Daryl's a psycho.
Yeah, but he never presents as a psycho.
Yeah,
we just know he's a psycho. He's never a psycho on the pod,
If we got into it, I'm gonna start asking Daryl the questions that I asked Shane, of you see Sam Presti across from you. How badly do you want to fucking take his soul?
Yeah. So anyway, I
thought it was an interesting conversation though, even though he wasn't as revealing into his true heart as I wanted him to be.
And if anybody didn't understand that, when I asked him about Jared McCain, I had forgotten that he is an advisor to the Heat. So he still gets paid by the Heat. So he can't talk about players that aren't on the team in any real substance. So when I asked him about McCain, I forgot about that. I was just thinking about the Duke thing. That's why he gave that sort of vague answer. In any case, so just sitting on the internet the other day, and there is a Sixers, I think it was on definitely a tweet, definly on Instagram.
Yeah, it was buried in a slideshow, I think.
Yeah, on Instagram. Yeah, because it was a 3 or 4 video or 3 or 4 image thing on Twitter. But one of them was of Joel Embiid.
Oh,
playing basketball.
Interesting.
Looking trim. Just keep playing it, CJ, if you can. Looking trim. Gets the ball in the triple threat position. Does not have a knee brace on.
Doesn't have a knee brace on. Turns, spins, rises up.
Yep. Little
shimmy, little shake.
Yeah, we're watching it now, in case you're not watching the pod.
I mean, this is the best thing I've ever seen.
Mike, I as somebody who has been incredibly negative on the Joel Embiid thing all for a year, 2 years, it got me.
That old feeling.
Yeah, I got that little twinge of...
Comes rushing back.
Well, I mean, what if he's all right? What if he's okay?
Look at that.
And I asked, just don't stop playing it, CJ. We might have to just let it roll the whole rest of the pod. I mentioned it to Ike on the air. because Ike is a big Embiid guy. And I said, you see the video?
And a good contest from the guy in the gray.
Yep.
Strong contest.
Looks like Horford.
No, don't you bring that into this.
It kind of looks like Horford. In any case, I said, you see the Embiid video? And he got a big smile on his face. And he said, I didn't want to ruin it. I didn't want to talk about it. And he said the same thing. I said, did you move a little? He's like, kind of, yeah. I don't know what to do. I'm optimistic about him now.
Here we go.
It's a 6-second video.
That's all you need.
He's there playing basketball. I didn't even think he was playing basketball. He looks trim. Look, he's just playing basketball, Mike. And
Great backspin on the ball. Nice arc.
thanks to Sixer Saturdays on Twitter, who did a little zabrudering of it to notice that Janai Broom is in the background. So we are assured that this is a video that happened this offseason and not the previous offseason.
About that.
Well,
that would be dark. Thank you. Thank God.
Broom. Well, it would be dark, but I would not put it past them. I don't think so.
Oh man, I would. I don't think they would do that, but Jesus.
Yeah. I mean, I feel now AU
There's
wrote a whole
a picture
thing.
of like President Barack Obama in the background, and it's like it's not even from this decade.
AU wrote a thing on the Ricky website, subscribe at RickySanchez.com/subscribe, just comparing the obvious comparisons about what we lived through in the Ben Simmons era, the gym videos that we all celebrated of him shooting and all of those things, and were crushed by it, and then ended up laughing at Nets fans when they believed the same thing was going to happen. And we said, don't. But I have to tell you, man, the fact that he's playing basketball at all and looks normal and is not wearing a knee brace, maybe you should put a knee brace on just for
Now you want the knee brace.
Well, for caution, that I have to say this, it hit me.
I love it. I loved AU's article.
Yeah.
And after this break, I will tell you why I think it's different than Simmons.
Oh, look at that tease. The Rights to Ricky Sanchez podcast is brought to you by Briggs Auction, the official auction of the Rights to Ricky Sanchez podcast, based in Delco. Get the app at Google Play or the App Store. It is auction. It is located around here, but it's all online. I actually saw Steven and Steph from Briggs Auction at the Brandywine Valley SPCA Gala. They were there. And they actually, funny enough, they had the silent auction there. They won a bunch of items in the silent auction. I think one of them was a crock pot. Steve said they didn't even need a crock pot. Congratulations to them. But now we get to the Briggs Auction CJ item of the week. What's up, Siege?
Summer's over. It's September again.
Yep.
Winter's coming. We got a 90s North Face
Oh, that's
toner
sweet.
clock block jacket.
Yowzer.
We got purple. We got yellow. We got black. We got all the colors. This one looks very comfortable. It's like a 3-button quarter.
What size? Does it say what size?
This is size medium.
Oh, buddy.
This size medium.
Might have to bid.
With older stuff, the sizing definitely varies here and
Yes.
there.
Yeah.
So would probably want to try this on first, but love how this looks for sure.
Yeah. It says medium. Actually, it looks like medium small. It says MS. I don't know. Or maybe it's,
yeah.
But man, that is sweet, man. How about that? So at every Briggs auction, which is basically every week now, and I didn't get anything from the skateboard auction. I missed every lot I tried to bid on went way over what I wanted to bid on it, but it was still awesome. The great thing about Briggs auction: clothing, yes; collectibles, yes; art, yes; furniture, furnishings, vehicles, whatever. Hundreds of lots every single week. A lot of them starting at $1. It is fun. It is full of stuff that you didn't know that you needed until you see it. Briggs auction. I would recommend downloading the app, check once a week, or just go to the website once a week. If you're looking to furnish a room in your house, you want something that you don't have to wait 6 months for, like we just had to wait for our fucking couch, Briggs Auction is the place to do it. If you have a bunch of stuff that you think is valuable and you think should be auctioned, Briggs Auction can help you with that as well. They're the only place they can help you. Send an email to info@briggsauction.com. And when you win a lot, there's open pickup on Saturdays. You can do it by appointment during the week. They can work with you on a shipper. Can't recommend it enough. briggsauction.com. Mike, why is this video different than the Ben video?
Look, as an apt comparison on the surface, I hear you. We're looking at summer, 2nd August, grainy workout footage, of course. But with Simmons, it was like he's doing a thing that we've never seen him do, and he's finally going to do it in real life, not just in, 360p. We're going to see it in full 4K for this season. With Joel, it's like, we know he can do this. We just need to know that he's alive and moving around looking like himself. So I don't think it's quite as embarrassing. It's a different flavor of embarrassing to believe in this. It's closer to Bynum, I guess. But it is.
Yes.
It is a different
by
flavor
the
of
way, AU
embarrassing.
also wrote about
Yeah.
last week. Yeah.
Yes, of course. Look, I'm predisposed to believe in Joel.
Yes.
I have not forsaken him or the idea of this project working out more in a way that you or most people have. Foolishly, of course.
Yes.
And a little bit like believing in Joel or believing in anything like this, a little bit makes me think of this recurring dream/nightmare that I have, where I am walking around in the world and I have a shirt on, but no pants, nothing underneath, and there's nothing that I can do, and I'm just
Winnie
like
the Pooh.
I'm like Winnie the Pooh style. I'm trying to like cover myself up, but like the shirt's not long enough to really help out, and that's how it feels like to believe in the Sixers or believe in Joel, is like walking around completely exposed, completely vulnerable. But here I am, and I'm back, and I'm happy for him. And I wanted this, man. That's what I wanted all summer. I was like, just give him all last year. Give him time off. Just let him rest. Let him fucking get away.
Well, that's on
Let
him too, by the way. On him.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
100%.
Yeah.
Like just take the year's over. Just get out of there. And it didn't bother me in the Dotun ESPN article. It didn't bother me that it wasn't like, here's the workout regimen he's on. It was just like, just get out of there and let it be a beautiful surprise when he is in shape and playing better and feeling better and moving better. And here we go. And here we go.
Yeah, I'm not one to fall for this.
You're really not.
I fell for it.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah. Now, I'm not ready to make any predictions on it, of course, but this has been one of the, I guess, things that has made the national perspective on the Sixers understandably so boring over the last 5 months about how they're going to be. Or even our perspective on how they're going to be. We have no idea. Have no idea, because it all has to do with whether he's going to play or not. Have no idea. And consistently fed, understandably, but consistently fed, we don't know if he's going to be ready for camp. We hope so, blah, 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 blah. You're all just, with the way last year went and combined with his history, you're just sort of like, I don't know, I guess we'll see. But the idea that he's playing basketball now, as crazy as that sounds, is a monumental leap over what we thought could be happening even just a week ago. You know, yeah.
My saving grace this whole time is that even though it has felt like it's been forever since he looked like himself, it really hasn't been that long. And if he was having the best year of his career before Kuminga falls on his knee, with time, he could maintain. He could get back to some version of that guy. Maybe not the fullest, maybe not. I'm not saying he's going to play 82, but like if we can get that guy or something like that guy for 45, 50 games and use him in the right places and he's healthy for the playoffs, like it's luck. You got to get lucky in a way we haven't yet. The rest of the team around him is finally the team that we've needed it to be for all this time. And so I'm hoping for a little bit of a medical miracle. It's good to see him playing.
I mean, what if he plays 54 games?
Beautiful.
I mean, what if he plays 54 games? What if in the third game of the year he goes for 36, 12, and 7?
That's it. That's it, man.
What if all he
fucking it.
needs to do is be on the court and
That's
shoot?
it.
He's got a great mid-range jumper, man. He
beautiful.
doesn't just get on the court, man.
Let's do it.
Oh, okay.
We're back.
No, I'm getting there. I'm getting there. So Furk on Korkmaz we love. Right? We love Furk. He's always going to be a Sixer to us. Didn't think Furk on Korkmaz slandering Joel Embiid would be on my bingo card for this week. Hashtag
Wow.
Mike.
Wow.
But this quote from, what are they, all those guys playing? Is it Eurobasket? Is that where everybody's playing? Or FIBA, whatever the fuck they're playing in right now?
Mm-hmm.
I see Doncic playing. I see Giannis playing. I don't even know what it is. I see everybody talking about it. In any case, Furkan Korkmaz was talking about the best player he ever played with. And it used to be Joel Embiid. Here's what he said.
Until now, I think Joel Embiid was the best player, best center that I was playing. But I think we can tell that it's Alperen now. So it's great to be around him, you know. He's enjoying playing basketball. He helps us a lot on the court defensively and offensively. I think he's a special kid. And every day he's trying to give his maximum. And this year we are also seeing that he's playing aggressive defense too, not only offense. And that gives us a lot of confidence on the front court that we pressure the ball well. And he's helping us from different ways. I hope that he has still a long way to go. He's going to grow a lot. And then we're going to see much better basketball from him from this year to next year to another year. You know, he's going to keep adding it.
What do you think about Furkan Korkmaz saying that Joel Embiid is not anymore the best player he's ever played with? Now it's Alperen Şengün.
Look, I mean, you know, countryman pride,
Yeah.
I think is factoring in here. He's not going to play with Joel ever again, so he doesn't feel the need to like protect it, you know. And he's trying to maybe give Şengün a little bit of a boost, but he could also be saying like Joel now is not as good as Alperen now.
You think that's what you think?
Possibly,
that was,
but it
yeah.
also I know Korkmaz loves Joel. I got nothing. I
assume.
got nothing against Korkmaz. He requested a trade 18 times. He never played for another organization. Like he's doing his thing. He retired a Sixer basically.
I'm always sad you missed that interview at the Sixers
I know.
facility with Korkmaz because you were sick, you had a stomach issue, so it just was me and him.
Was it
and
a
his
stomach
crocs.
issue? I thought
Yeah.
it was just regular sick.
No, I thought it was a stomach thing.
Oh, damn.
I think it was a stomach thing. Yeah. So it just ended up being me, and seeing the fear in his eyes, sort of, as to why we'd even want to be talking. Like, you could tell he thought something was up, but
guy.
yeah, there's never video of it. There was a photo, never video of it. So the good news, Joel Embiid played basketball. The bad news is, I mean, it's not catastrophic yet, but I would say the worry meter should go from, a 2 to maybe a 4 is for Quentin Grimes. So we saw last time we talked about it, Cam Thomas signed the qualifying offer. And then the Bulls finally signed their restricted free agent, Josh Giddey, to a 4-year, $100 million deal. That leaves Grimes and Kuminga as the two restricted free agents that are not signed. Now, Kuminga is a different situation. That is an ugly situation in which it seems like it's going to have to end in a trade or a qualifying offer, in that the Warriors and Jonathan Kuminga doesn't seem to want to be on the Warriors. The Warriors don't seem to want Jonathan Kuminga, certainly not at the price that he wants.
Yeah.
It does not seem the same as the Sixers. So when I saw the Giddey deal, so the first offer, the way that Jake Fisher reported it, we'll get to Jake in a second, is the way that Jake Fisher reported it was that the Bulls had offered him $480. Giddey's people wanted $420. Then it went up to $488, and then they met sort of middle-ish at $400. I wonder what effect the deal has on what Grimes believes his value is. Mm-hmm. So if Giddey gets, I don't think Quentin Grimes, this was an argument between me and Adam, but I don't think Grimes is as valuable as Giddey is, personally. So if Giddey signs for $480, it could put Grimes in the $16 million category. I wonder if Giddey signing for 25 a year moves Grimes up, at least in their view, to a 20 a year guy rather than a 15 or 16 a year guy.
Yeah, I mean, they're just so different as players that, like, would I rather have a team with Josh Giddey as my primary ball handler and, like, maybe let's say second best player, or Grimes as my fourth or fifth option? I like definitely the second one. But that doesn't mean that, like, in the NBA where there's more guys that can do the Grimes thing than that can do the Giddey thing.
Giddey substantially younger too, is 22. Yeah. And fair to mention too, Giddey, and I don't want to make this all about Josh Giddey, but the season that Grimes had after the All-Star break, Giddey averaged like almost a triple-double, averaged 25, 10, and 10 after. So, but yes, he is a starting point guard, whereas Grimes is not even necessarily a starter. I sort of put his value, like I wonder if we think of Grimes as prime Danny Green level value, as could start, might not start, good player, could fit on almost any team sort of thing, which is a different proposition than Giddey, to your point. Yeah.
I think ultimately they shouldn't take too much out of I mean, you don't want to be the last one standing, right? In this restricted free agent bundle. It felt kind of safe for me when it was like, hey, the four of them, the four guys, the four buddies, all unsigned, going through it together. And then Cam's like, I'm out. And then now Giddey. And now it feels a little bit like musical chairs. I don't want it to get much later than this, but I do feel confident it's still going to happen. Grimes posting himself in the Sixers jersey, I think, matters a little bit. And
on
as
Instagram.
Far as as far as the tea leaves go. And I think there's just no reason. There's no reason for it to not happen. Maybe Jake reporting that, like, maybe the Sixers are looking into possibly trading Oubre and Drummond at the same.
So this time was per Jake Fisher, who writes for Steinline, which is Substack with Mark Stein. So when it comes to Quentin Grimes, though, he says, there's been no tangible movement to relay when it comes to his ongoing restricted free agency stalemate with the team, despite what appeared to be a glimmer of positivity when Grimes recently published a picture of himself in Sixers Red on Instagram. As I covered on a recent Bleacher Report video stream, Philadelphia has explored the potential trade landscape at various points this summer for Andre Drummond and Kelly Oubre Jr. to theoretically create some additional financial flexibility to make the re-signing of Grimes more comfortable. Maybe a move does materialize for one of these veterans at some point, but I must stress that the Sixers do not appear to be operating with some kind of clear-cut directive to trade either player at the moment. So there you go.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised that nobody's biting at that. It would feel unnecessarily restrictive to themselves to, before the season starts,
go trade for Kelly Oubre.
Well, yeah, for other people who's like are feeling excited about their team, probably, but as other people, you want Andre to prove that he has a pulse and can move around still, and he wasn't able to do that last year. Oubre, it'd be nice if he hit a couple shots. And you need somebody else to, like, get hurt on another team that you go like, okay, we need that kind of player. I'm not surprised that they're not doing it now, and I don't think the Sixers should rush to trade either of them so they can go like, okay, great, now we're under the tax. You can do that during the season if you need to do. But I do think it's gonna happen. I think Grimes will be here and probably starting. And I think for him, man, like, he hasn't stuck anywhere. He was on New York, played a little bit, then left. Detroit, a little bit, then left. Now Dallas, they trade him. Like, he hasn't landed anywhere. He's been a weirdly inconsistent journeyman for much of his career, and I don't know. He's still pretty young, and I don't know what about his game or personality or whatever lends itself to teams not wanting to stick there. So
it's worth asking what his value would be if the second half of last year never happened. Like, what I'm always trying to do is trying to reconcile what he did in that time, what it means for him as the player we need him to be, and what it means in his value, for his value. So, which are all very, very difficult questions to reconcile, which I think connects to what you're saying in that this player that we want him to be would be valuable on almost every team. Why hasn't a team valued him in that way? Right. You know?
Yeah. Not to say I don't want to sign him. I just think that should give the Sixers more leverage to be like, hey, we want to keep you for a long time. Nobody else has.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, we value you more than they did.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. It might not be as much as you want us to value you, but we value you a lot. The Rights to Ricky Sanchez podcast brought to you by Barker Therapeutic Dog Beds. You love your dog, right? Stop fucking around. I mean, I'm just being serious. It's really a shame that you say you love your dog. This is just straight up guilt. You say you love your dog, yet you let your dog sleep in that shitty bed that is not supporting its joints. And, you know, I don't know, maybe your dog's 3 or 4, deals with it fine now. What about when your dog is 8, 9? It's been sleeping on this shitty bed for 4 years, 5 years, 8 years. That's on you. Go to barkerbeds.com/Ricky, barkerbeds.com/Ricky. It is a real mattress, a real bed for your dog that has a huge difference in your dog's health. That is what it was engineered by experts to do. It's what it does do. Penn Vet study showed reduction in pain severity, improvement in joint stiffness, all that. And I have a living, breathing fucking example in my house. Rebel has been sleeping on a Barker bed for 7 years, something like that. And 11 years old, runs around like a total lunatic. Absolutely no signs of arthritis whatsoever. Now, I can't attribute, some of that is, you know, he's lucky, but some of it has to be from sleeping on the bed. If you go to barkerbeds.com/Ricky, not only do you get to learn more about the bed and get the bed, but if you go to that link, you get the Process Pup patches, you get stickers, you send us a picture, becomes official Process Pup, put them up on Instagram. Everybody's happy, especially your dog who's sleeping on a good bed. Even better news, looks good in the house because it comes in all different sizes. You know, for your tiny little dog, there's a Barker Jr. all the way up to XL. Every different color you could imagine. Every different configuration. Headrest, no headrest, in the crate, out of the crate, travel bed, all that sort of stuff. Can't recommend it enough. Very happy with it. And by the way, Rebel still sleeps on the same one he slept on when we first started with Big Barker 7 years ago. So now that is important because I'm going to tell you it's got a 10-year warranty. The foam doesn't flatten or they replace it for free. It is made right here in the USA. Barker Therapeutic Dog Beds. So there was this little, speaking of Kelly Oubre.
Yeah. So
I don't know. Kai Carlin posted this. Kai Carlin, famous for Who the Fuck is Kai Carlin fame, which I don't know if you remember that. It was during COVID. They were doing a Zoom press conference and they accidentally left everybody off mute. And Kai Carlin asked a question. And you hear my dad in the Zoom background going, who the fuck is Kai Carlin? Which I thought was very funny. But so posted this, so didn't show where this came from. Where this, I think it was a post talking about a Kelly Oubre trade rumor that Kelly Oubre was responding to. So it is an Instagram comment from Kelly Oubre, which says the following: I love Philly, but the love doesn't seem to be reciprocated. What happened to this place?
I really love what happened to this place.
Yes. I also love, there's something special about somebody that puts a space between the end of the sentence and the question mark. Mm-hmm. You know what? It's usually with exclamation points. There's that little thing that's very funny. Anyway, he says, and for those saying I'm garbage because my 3-point percentage went down, still put up numbers and I'd still cook you.
But let's be clear. The capital S is a money sign.
Money sign in both still and both still. Yeah, still cook you. I played through finger surgeries on my left thumb and pinky for 3 years, but still put my soul into this shit. That's the one thing only God can take from me. Hope to see y'all soon. Money sign. Godspeed. So I think he's probably responding to the commenters who are saying, trade that bum or something.
Yeah, I don't know. It's very bizarre. I feel nothing but appreciation for what Kelly has done here, and think if Josh Harris can reach into his coffers and come up with a little bit of a luxury tax and Kelly's on the team, I think that would help them in make a regular having him here. And I've been dying for him to be a better 3-point shooter because then I think he would be a much more complete player. Hopefully the time off has helped him with his thumb and he starts hitting more shots. But yeah, I don't know. What happened to this place is such a funny thing to say. Kelly, we love you. Stay, man. It's all good.
What happened to this place is one of the funniest things I've ever seen a Sixers player write on social media. You know,
Yeah.
It's also a good point. I don't know what happened to this place. Oh, seems like CJ found the post.
These random graphic posts should be.
What's the Twitter account there, CJ? I can't see.
The Instagram account is Sixers Nation CP. And it's a graphic suggesting that Kelly Oubre may be on the trade block.
And it also has the stats, which are good. 15 points per game, 5 rebounds per game.
I guess it's trying to stir up talk that he could be worth something.
Yeah. I don't know. Kelly, we love you.
Don't read
Kelly
that.
Oubre fans.
Yeah, don't read that stuff, Kelly. Kelly, I've been raving about your vision improving as a passer for years now.
Yeah.
Don't listen to them. Don't listen to the graphic boys.
Nah. Don't listen to Sixers Nation CP. What does the CP stand for?
Clutch points.
Oh, is that what it is?
Looks like. I mean, it says it.
It says it in the bio.
Oh, right.
Clutch Points Network.
Yeah. All right.
Come on, Cal.
Yeah, we like Kelly Oubre. So the Pablo Torre Clippers thing has continued.
Yes, it has.
So I have to say, there was the new podcast where he revealed the other owner making the other. So the most, I think, damning thing that has been, because there's been a lot of stuff on Twitter this week. So there's been a lot of Pablo going back and forth with the former employees of the company.
Yeah.
Aspiration, is that the name of the company? I
Yes.
think? And then back and forth with Mark Cuban. To be honest with you, all of that seems very, very confusing. I'm consuming it, but I'm having a hard time understanding what they're trying to prove or say, both from Mark Cuban's point and Pablo's point. But I will say that the reveal on the most recent podcast that the other owner, actually, do we want to play the clip? Let's play the clip. Play the clip from Pablo Torre Finds Out.
Inside of Aspiration, according to my 7 sources, as well as Aspiration's internal cash forecast for sponsorship payments, which is a spreadsheet I obtained that you, David, now get to review in your mystery folder there. So the smoking gun question we're all contemplating. It's the thing that I think I have uncovered. One of the company's absolute top priorities, despite the total financial show enveloping this company, was simple. Hey, KL2 Aspire LLC. David, what is it marked there?
It is marked critical.
So in all fairness to Uncle Dennis, he's not the only one who's calling trying to get paid. There's a huge freeze because there's no money to be spent. But lo and behold, Uncle Dennis gets paid.
According to this Green Bank's Silicon Valley bank statements, which I have acquired and confirmed and have in the folder in front of you, please tell us when exactly Aspiration finally does wire their months late second payment to Kawhi Leonard.
December 15th of 2022, $1.75 million.
So this payment was made December 15th, 2022.
Mm-hmm.
When was the 20% of the staff laid off?
The same day.
Oh. Something happened just 9 days before the wire out to Kawhi's KL2 Aspire LLC for $1.75 million on December 15th.
On December 6th of 2022, a wire in from DEA 88 Investments in the amount of $1,999,999.59.
I said to myself, should probably look up the registered agent on file for DEA 88 Investments LP. And it turned out to be a man named Dennis.
Dennis Robertson?
Not Uncle Dennis. Dennis J. Wong, our different Dennis, is the vice chairman of Los Angeles Clippers.
Oh, come on, man.
He is the one and only limited partner, in fact, of the team. This has not been reported previously because the ownership group is Steve Ballmer owning 99%.
Right.
And Dennis J. Wong owning 1%. And that's it. But I did want to know what my second source knew at the time about the different Dennis in question. How surprising is it that a new investor would put money in December 2022 who had not already clearly been deeply invested into the company?
So it is beyond shocking. And I will tell you, I knew that they had put money in December to make payroll and make rent and all that material. It is not a rational investment that someone would make. So it is very shocking to me that $2 million was made as an investment by Dennis Wong, who in my text is identified as the Clippers, Steve Ballmer's partner, a week before $1.75 million was paid to Kawhi.
I'm saying
I think
that is
that's
exactly
probably enough there. Well, I mean, look, that piece of evidence, certainly a pretty ugly thing for the Clippers, if you're the Clippers. I mean, the best point being, why are you investing $2 million in this company at this point is a very, very strange thing if you're the Clippers. So,
I mean, it's not strange if you are using this company as a way to circumvent the cap to pay Kawhi more money so he stays and is happy.
I would say the only good point made in trying to read through all of it from Cuban is, it is interesting how much these employees seem to know about the Clippers circumventing the cap, and none of them knew they were working for a company committing fraud on several different people, which is certainly interesting. I sort of get to the point on this with the punishment of it. They either have to, like, I thought what they would end up getting is sort of like a punishment they got with DeAndre Jordan, or how the Sixers got with their tampering thing.
Yeah.
Second round pick, $200,000, an acknowledgement that something happened, but nothing horrible happened, whatever. This is sort of at the point where they're either going to have to say they did it and give them like a death penalty type punishment, or do nothing, because it just doesn't seem like it seems like it has to be one of the two things. It has to be like either a huge mix-up, which seems increasingly unlikely, or that they did a very, very, very bad thing that would cause them to void the contract, get rid of picks, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, I don't know about, I didn't find the Mark Cuban podcast convincing at all on his end. Pablo is presenting evidence and Cuban is like, and so am I. And it's like, no, you're not, man. You're just saying like, I wouldn't have done it. And also like, he's both, I've been fucked before in this same way. Pablo was like, wouldn't you? It just seemed like Cuban was like, I wouldn't have done it. And also he's both like a very smart investor and also like completely innocent. And how could he know?
I don't think that's how Cuban presented himself, but regardless, not really the point. Not really.
Yeah, it just wasn't. I thought it was relatively funny that Pablo's like, here's journalism and here's me making my point, and Cuban is like, and so am I, and it's like, I wouldn't have done it.
No, I think the difference is, and remember, Pablo was having that conversation with him before this evidence came out, right?
Yeah.
Fair to note.
Yes.
That I think the difference is Pablo was saying this clearly shows X, and Cuban was saying it doesn't clearly show X.
But especially with the pattern of behavior of Ballmer doing things both with the DeAndre Jordan situation, and then it got reported, I can't remember the order of operations, but it got reported, I think it was Bruce Arthur in Toronto, reported that like there was, Uncle Dennis was scrounging around in Toronto asking for like ownership opportunities. So it's clearly like both of these parties have experience doing this kind of thing, and they found each other. And now with all of it, and additionally to the people at the company saying, yeah, it was common knowledge that this was for cap circumvention. That to me is like, it was always plenty enough to be like, you got to seriously investigate this stuff, and
which they said they're doing.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And now the $2 million payment, like 9 days before this other thing. I think it's very
this
clear.
one, the $2 million payment before 9 days before the other payment. Like the Clippers would have to produce at this point something very compelling to show that those two things were not connected. Like
Yeah.
it would have to be incredibly compelling, by the way. And by the way, a related part of this is Kawhi and Uncle Dennis sort of getting pushed to the side as no wrongdoers here or whatever. Kawhi and Uncle Dennis,
I think definitely wrongdoers.
yeah, a huge wrongdoing.
Doing wrong.
Yes.
I think Uncle Dennis is like going around freelancing, asking anybody for more ownership opportunities and money and stakes and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And Kawhi is just like, and I thought it was funny in the last Pablo podcast where it's like he's not going to do anything. Whatever, all this would have been solved if, hey, Kawhi wants more money. Okay, totally. Let me introduce you to some of my business partners or other people that have companies, and you can just retweet something or show up and like shake some hands, and then we'll give you a fuckload of money for that. And Kawhi's insistence and Uncle Dennis's insistence that Kawhi would do legitimately nothing at all for the $28 million that he was getting from this company is what ultimately undid them. I don't think any of this would have happened if Kawhi had simply like retweeted something.
I have to tell you though, I don't, as strange as that is, I do not think for whatever the core of what the assumption that the Clippers did here is, whether Kawhi went and retweeted something once a quarter should not matter. Should not matter, because if the deal is that this contract was a way to circumvent the salary cap, him doing these minor things should not matter. They either are. I agree,
but that stuff happens way more often. That stuff happens way more often where it's like, you know, with star players and hey, yeah, just like you want. It's more plausible to be like, you want this big star athlete with this big platform to be your spokesman or whatever.
Yes.
And the plenty of team owners and part owners and stuff have connections to those worlds, obviously. And so you can just say like, oh yeah, they just made the connection to a guy and he wanted to do it, and that's totally fine, and he did it, and that's great. But like, I think it was the blinking red light of, this is how much money he made, and he did literally nothing for it.
Yeah.
That, I think, that opened the door to really all this stuff. Like, I truly think if he had retweeted something or showed up and like for like a minute and a half and shook a hand and took a picture, that it would have been, I would think it would have been done.
I guess the other question would be is if the thing that you're saying happens more, which, you know, I'm not saying that the Sixers and Joel Embiid are doing this. I just brought it up as an extension of a brand deal with the team. I brought up crypto.com. It is the patch on the Sixers jersey, and twice a year we see Embiid do an Instagram post about crypto.com.
Yeah, it's all embarrassing for me.
Yes. So I guess to rewind it is to say that I think not that brands shouldn't be able to hire these guys to do those things, but I think you have to look closer at what the point of those things are, and if they are in effect circumventing the cap by like, if there's a handshake deal somewhere to say, hey, pay them more than they deserve. Because just to come back to your point about Kawhi, which I think is definitely fair, is if you retweeted things 4 times, it certainly wouldn't have added up to $7 million worth of value.
Of course, but that's more you can fudge that, right?
Yes.
But you can't fudge truly zero things. Doesn't
Totally
add up to
agree.
$28 million of value.
Totally agree. This part was, when that one came out, I was like, well, you guys might be fucked here. You guys might be fucked. And I'm very curious to see what the NBA does. You know, now, certainly not confident in Adam Silver doing anything. His great quote this week about the NBA isn't a sport that you have to watch. You can just watch highlights online.
What a weird thing to say.
What a fucking dumb thing to say.
Well, there is a Sixers tie into this, and we will get back to it after this break.
Oh, look at this guy. What a pro. The Rights to Ricky Sanchez podcast brought to you by Adam Ksebe, the official realtor of the Rights to Ricky Sanchez podcast, based out of Long and Foster in Bethany Beach. Look, before I get to the core of Ksebe, what I'm going to tell you is, if you don't have a realtor and you're looking to buy a house literally anywhere or sell a house, your first call definitely should be to Ksebe. Now, he can only help you specifically in Delaware and Maryland, but because he has such a big network of realtors that he is close with, he will have a deep conversation with you and then go and make sure that he connects you with the right realtor in the right place. He's done it for a ton of Ricky listeners. He can do it for you too. His specialty, though, Delaware beaches, whether it's Rehoboth or Lewis or Bethany or Dewey, wherever it is. If you have thought that getting a home, you spend, like me, a fucking idiot, right? Every summer you spend a few $1,000s to rent a house, somebody else's house. Wouldn't it be great to have your own place? You think it's impossible for one reason or another. Very competitive market. That's why you need a guy like Ksebe who knows every single corner of the Delaware beaches, will know to tell you, coach you on how to bid, get you the place. And then you can be one of those people that charges other people thousands of dollars to stay there. Those people end up paying your mortgage. You have a place to go during the summer. You have with your friends and your family, and it becomes an investment. Delaware also lowest property taxes in the nation. Jersey Shore, highest in the nation. Ksebe is your guy. If you think it's time, I would recommend reaching out to him. This is his direct cell, 302-864-8643. You can call, you can text. That is 302-864-8643 or adam@processrealtor.com. What is the Sixers connection here?
Well, let me tell you this.
Okay.
I just want to say thank you to James Harden, because when they traded Harden to the Clippers, coming back from the Clippers,
right
after the Daryl Morey is a liar situation and the long, arduous trade request and not showing up, the Sixers got an unprotected 2028 first round pick from the Clippers and a 2029 pick swap, and that pick is coming in 2028. They give up their 26 to Oklahoma City or Washington, and then there's a pick swap in 27, and then we get it in 28 no matter what. So that is, I think, a massive lingering thing over everything. That pick is potentially one of the best trade assets in the league.
I was going to say that. Absolutely. And then they can trade their pick that has what has the swap capabilities with the Clippers. So if they trade that pick could be swapped with the Clippers in the future as well, which would also be very valuable. It increases the value of their own pick.
Both of them, yes.
Yeah.
So all very super interesting. And if you're the Sixers, you're hoping for maximum punishment. They won't be able to trade. I mean, obviously, like, the NBA can't go in and say, hey, now we're taking those picks from you.
No.
Because they've already traded them. That would obviously punish other teams for it. So they'll
have
have to go years and years into the future.
Yeah.
And I think, like, I don't know what other kinds of punishments they could do that aren't just picks based, but whether it's voiding the contract or limiting, hard capping them somewhere earlier. Like, I don't know what they're going to do, but, or making them sell the team. Like, I don't know how much.
Well, that's not going to happen.
How much leaning on them they can do it. But like, this is not the first time that he's tried to do this thing. And this is the biggest time. But if he's going to keep doing it, like, he can't. At some point, like, if he tries to do it, say they ding him a couple picks and it's like 2031 and 2033, whatever.
Yeah.
And then in a year, similar thing happens. Like, then they have to. What happened? Like, eventually you have to kick this guy out of the club because he's proven to not be like someone that would play by the rules. And I don't know how muscled up Adam Silver is going to get to bump out one of the richest people in the world.
Yeah.
But who, is hosting the All-Star game this year and just build a big, beautiful stadium.
I think also the first one.
But at some point it's going to happen.
The first one was more like, I think, what other teams do. I think there was maybe an introduction in a way that they shouldn't have done. But this one, like, I don't think they kick them out on this one, but you also have to realize if let's say they void the contract, keep the money on the books, take away 2 picks. When is this team, you're essentially like putting this team into purgatory forever. I mean, it becomes almost impossible for them to be a good team like, you know, in the next 7 years, you know? So then you're hurting the rest of the league on some level if they do that. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, even so, if they avoid the contract, is Kawhi a free agent or is he suspended for the year?
I think there's no way the NBPA would allow them to suspend him for the year. I guess they make him a free agent.
That's very interesting. I mean, it's all very weird and all very unknowable. I don't think this is going to get resolved very quickly. I think Kawhi will probably play for the Clippers this year, which is fine, because we care about 28 and 29 when Kawhi and Harden will probably be gone by then, and who takes over, who knows. I thought it was also super interesting, the report that, I'm forgetting the percentages, but until Kawhi got that $1.75 million quarterly payment, he had played in like 22% of the team's games
and then he played
before
like
that.
80%.
And then he played in 80% afterwards. It's like,
I saw that.
All of this stuff, it's anything individually would not amount to that's it. But you put it all together and
I agree with you.
It's all very, very clear that through a lot of people in power at the Clippers and at this like fake company that was routing its money to Kawhi, and Uncle Dennis going around freelancing, asking for like stuff that would get around the cap. This happened and is happening. And if the NBA wants to have like a league where the salary cap matters and there's some sort of like agreed upon little billionaire socialist type thing where everyone gets sort of the same, plays on the same playing field, then you can't just say, okay, take a first round pick and that's that. Like, I think he's got to go. Like,
well, is this all right? Hold on. Is this you do have some Laker fan blood in you?
No, truly no.
Okay,
Alyssa is definitely out for blood.
Yes. So
and wants some red meat. Wants to get it in her mouth and fucking rip some raw steaks. She definitely feels that.
It
for
has
sure.
been funny to me. I have a Laker fan friend. It's Dummin, and he is, for a bunch of fans who say they don't care about the Clippers, for this to happen and they become these fucking bloodthirsty animals for Clipper blood, it is very funny.
Well, Lakers just a mom and pop shop. Just a mom and pop organization.
That's all.
No, Alyssa does care about the Clippers in that she resents them, and there's something that's like, I feel like I've said this before, but there's this like sort of ironicness to being a Clippers fan in LA that really rubs Alyssa the wrong way. It happened in like the comedy scene of like, well, I'm actually like a Clippers fan, like a little bit of a sports ball type situation that really annoys Alyssa when people do it. It's very fun to watch her be this worked up about it, but yeah, she's very much like all that cheating and you've still been to one conference finals. Yeah. That's all you got. But yeah, I mean, I do think like when Ballmer has proven to be doing this, or at least his ownership group has proven to be doing this and entertaining it over and over again, at what point does Adam Silver like have the power to say like, this is no longer a league, this is not part of it?
Which makes me wonder if they punish them in the way that we're thinking at all because of what it would conclude.
Right.
Did you see what I'm saying? Like if you are saying that they did all of this, then it's so condemning that what is the next step? So,
well, they'll do the lawyer thing and that'll take forever. But yeah, I mean, the interesting conversation between Zach Lowe and Howard Beck on Zach's podcast. But there's not partial circumventing of the cap. That is pretty binary. Like it either happened or it didn't happen, and then you can punish them for it. I would be extremely surprised at this point if it's a slap on the wrist, and if there's not more stuff that comes out of it. When great reporting happens, which Pablo is doing and continues to do, it is unbelievable that he is the best journalist in America right now. God bless him. Pablo fucking Torre, Process Hall of Famer, came to multiple lottery parties. Ridiculous.
It's not that unbelievable. He did go to Harvard and write for ESPN for a number of years.
Sure, but I think it's I truly think it's the best journalism, not just sports journalism. I think this is the best journalism happening.
Overall, yes.
I think that it is amazing that it's happening. And I think that more things will keep coming out about it because Pablo has done such a good job being like, this is happening. If you have more information about it, come to us. And now come to the fucking, DOJ or whoever's investigating this stuff.
It is funny. It is very funny to think that guy is the guy that married a couple at the lottery party.
That's right. That's right.
We did get a few voicemails, some paper questions about the paper, and you mentioned the conference finals, a conference finals question. We got this one from 2833 Lickface. Man, I'm a nothing. I'm a total zero. Here we go. Sorry.
This is LL Pavorsky, purchaser number 429. Couple quick questions, mostly for Mike. What round is Embiid going to be drafted in fantasy basketball this season? This is my second season playing. I don't know where he would be drafted. 5th round, 6th round? Not really sure. Non-basketball question. Mike, I don't know the guy's name, but the main character in the paper, he's from Ireland. Does he speak with an Irish accent? Very curious. Also, great show. I'm halfway through it. Going to binge the rest later tonight. Additionally, Mike, I'll be in L.A. this next week for the first time ever. So I would love to talk how Judah Mintz should be playing over Kyle Lowry in this upcoming season. Anyway, cheers, fellas. See you later.
There we go. So question one, where does Embiid go in fantasy? Interesting question.
So fantasy basketball is so interesting because it really is a volume business.
You need health.
So that is, fantasy is where the best ability is availability in fantasy basketball. So I won't be taking Joel no matter what. I have no idea where he goes. Not a clue, but I'm not touching that. Not a game I want to be in. Donald Gleason does speak with an Irish accent. He doesn't on set when he is, when he was like in character for the day. And then once he raps for the day, he brings back to his regular accent. So it's very impressive.
And do you want to hang out with him and talk about Judah Mintz when he comes to Los Angeles?
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
Let's do it.
We got another one to 833 Lickface, another one paper related.
Hey, Spike, Mike, and CJ. Question for Mike. Started watching the paper this weekend. Was skeptical about it because reboots for really beloved shows can be difficult, but I really, really like it. So congratulations, Mike. But my question is, there's a character in the show called Dietrich. Did you name this character after Dietrich, the writer of the Colangelo Burner story? I must know. The entire show, all I could do was think about that. So please help us answer that question. Congratulations again, and thanks in advance. Bye.
Very funny. No, Melvin Gregg, who plays Dietrich on the show, who is also the star of American Vandal Season 2, plays a basketball player. Great season. What the character was named in the script before I arrived.
You can't take credit.
Can't take credit for naming a character after Ben Dietrich and the Burnergate scandal.
And then finally, this one to 833 Lickface. I think I've already thought about the question, so I have the answer, but I would like to know yours.
Hello, the Rights Ricky Sanchez podcast. This is Max from Nicetown. I was recently discussing with some of my friends about giving a Philly sports team like a better result or like a happier ending. So like for the Andy Donovan Eagles, they would win the Super Bowl. The 2022 Phillies would win the World Series. And being inflicted with this curse, I naturally thought of the Embiid, Storage, Covington, Simmons, Sixers that ended up losing to ball with a 4-1, but most of those games were close. And that got me thinking, do you think we would view the process Sixers and Embiid a little differently if they had made an Eastern Conference final in like that 2018, but then never did any, like that had the same results since then? So would they just be clowned on for like a kind of fake season and then not even being able to reproduce that or something like that? Okay, bye.
There you go. So if one of those early teams got to a conference finals, would it be viewed any differently?
Well, that's a Darryl question.
Yeah.
because Daryl would say that it doesn't matter where you get in the playoffs. People won't care unless you win a championship, which I, on some level, obviously agree with. But you can't undersell how good it would feel in those moments to beat any of those legitimately good teams. The Celtics in 2017, they lost 4-1, like the caller said. Like, those games were close, and it was a close 5-game gentleman's sweep, but it was closer than 5, I think. The Raptors series obviously was what it was. If they had won against any of those teams, even Atlanta in 21, then you would be able to go, that felt good. What a nice thing that was. I remember that positive memory of them winning and getting the monkey off their back and finally getting to a conference finals for the first time in 01. And I think those memories matter as far as being a sports fan goes. And I think being able to say, yeah, at least they were they got to the Final Four of. I'd be doing a lot more Final Four stuff. Saying, like, in college, Final Fours, you hang a banner for a Final Four, you add it to the list of accomplishments for players and coaches and stuff of, like, having been to a Final Four. And I think that genuinely, I think sports should do that more, like college basketball, like got to Final Fours. But the Sixers haven't. So I can't even say that they have, and then to start to bring that campaign home to make it matter. So it's more embarrassing that they haven't. I do think that if they had been to one, then at least we would have had positive memories and usefulness of that one.
No, we would have had positive memories because we would have gotten another series. I do think on the whole, if early they get to the conference finals and it ends up the way it ends up, I think the national clowning is exactly the same as it is. They're just not able to say haven't made a conference finals, which is a made up thing anyway. You know, like no one thinks of that as the finish line at any point. They would have just moved the finish line one step ahead of where it is. So I think this is what I would say is when you think about the current Phillies, right? Mm-hmm. If the current Phillies lose in the NLCS this year or the NLDS, and they do it once more next year, and then the team gets broken up, the fact that they got to the World Series in 22 will be a nice little memory, but ultimately this team will be looked at as a disappointment. So I think it would be, because I felt it this summer with the Phillies. It was very hard to get people truly excited about this team. It was very Sixers vibes. So I think if they had gotten to the conference finals, it would be a nice memory, though I don't know that we would feel much different right now.
So I think there's middle ground. I think that when I think about that 22 run, and I think about like that Gene Segura hit and Harper against San Diego, and those kinds of moments, and Ranger closing out the NLCS to get us to the World Series, that stuff matters, and I feel very positive thinking about it. It makes me happy. On the whole, will this Sixers run or Phillies run still be a disappointment if they don't win a World Series? Of course, but I think there's levels to a disappointment.
Sure, I think that's fair.
I think that the Phillies are exactly what the caller is speculating about what could have happened with the Sixers is happening with the Phillies right now, and I still think that there's so much more positivity that I've enjoyed over the last few years with the Phils than with the Sixers, who have not broken through in any way. And they've, again, never beaten a good team in the playoffs.
I was about to get
to never have beaten a good team in the playoffs. A single good team, they have never done it.
Not one time. All right. We will talk to you next time. Go watch that 6 seconds over and over and over again. 6 seconds of glory.
Watch that 6 seconds, and just somebody near Adam Silver, just tell him, like, hey, you're a big man. You're a big, strong man, and you can punish whoever you want to punish. And let's get those, man. Let's go. I wonder if Daryl will use the potential of those Clippers punishments to make the trade before the punishments actually come through.
Right. Because they're valuable now, And then if the punishment comes through and it is a second round pick and $200,000 or something, all of a sudden we're in worse shape. Yeah,
it's quite interesting.
All right, we'll talk to you next time. Are you done with TTP?
Yeah, you know, Lickface, go Birds.